All of humanity is at a crossroad. We are at a time where we must search our hearts, our souls, and the reason for our existence. The choices we make today and from now on will tell the outcome of what is to happen worldwide. The choice to decide between peace and truly living, or keeping on creating chaos, starvation, misery, and slavery, rests on each of our shoulders. Look deeply to see what you will choose to do, not just for you, but those you love and their future. As we stand, the media and social media have been given millions of our dollars by our governments to create division, suppress, and oppress us by trying to keep us in fear in order to stop us from taking lawful actions to protect our country from the usurpation of our sovereign rights as the official shareholders and co-owners of the Crown of Canada by all governments since 1812, 1839, 1867, 1931, and finally 1982 to this day. Given what is happening, it will be hard to maintain peace and unity. But if people focus on their final decision-making authority and taking our power as the sovereigns of this country, as indicated in 1982, which was never lawfully changed on purpose by our politicians in our Constitution, nothing will change. How do we do this? There is only one lawful, legal way to instill our sovereign authority as a whole in our country. The same can be said for all countries, as nothing in law anywhere on this planet can supersede the will of the people in each of our countries. This is fact, and once you are ready and willing to listen and look at the facts, you will see the lies you were fed. In order to protect and save our country from the UN and World Bank globalization and the corporate invasion through the UN and the World Bank, both mostly controlled by the United States, to implement their all too obvious goal to destroy the human rights of all the people in all other countries, they can at this time, through planned migration and the obvious theft of the migration of people's control of their countries and natural resources. Soon, you will see the harsh reality as President Trump chooses the new head of the World Bank, who is trying to control us all. Canadians need to remain focused on our sovereignty and our sovereign rights, and saving this country to end a dictatorship system of representative democracy that is in fact anti-democratic and was instilled as a world coup by the oligarchies to control all of our countries, including the United States citizens. The smartest way to move forward was to create an intelligent, quiet, unified civil resistance without causing chaos or hardships to anyone or to even our daily governance. This was created to create the safest way for everyone to be involved and to take real action, as the pen, even an online one, is mightier than words, protests, and the sword. It's what the Canadian People's Union is about, and nothing else, which, through the Citizens' Convention of Consent, will give us automatic legal control of our country once we reach 51% of 7 provinces, and all of our rights as the official sovereigns of the Crown of Canada, the right to 1 vote each as citizens, co-owners, shareholders of Canada and its Crown corporations and laws, and on all issues we want to decide upon. This has been owed to us since especially 1982.
Majesty, Your Royal Highness, Excellencies, fellow Canadians, mes chers compatriotes,
fellow citizens,
le Canada
Today,
célèbre aujourd'hui
at long last,
son accession à la pleine
Canada is acquiring full and complete national sovereignty.
canadienne
The Constitution of Canada
revenue au pays.
has finally come home,
Nous pourrons désormais
and
la modifier
in
nous-mêmes
the future, we will now be capable of amending it in Canada without any further recourse to the Parliament of the United Kingdom. In the name of all Canadians,
Votre Majesté
may I say
et Votre Altesse
how
Royale.
pleased and honored we are
L'honneur et du plaisir
that Your Majesty and Your Royal Highness
fêter avec nous
have journeyed to
un
Canada
moment historique.
to share with us this day of historic
Depuis un
achievement.
demi-siècle, we now have a charter which defines the kind of country in which we wish to live and guarantees the basic rights and freedoms which each of us shall enjoy as a citizen of Canada. My wish is simply that the bringing home of our Constitution marks the end of a long winter, the breaking up of the ice jams, and the beginning of a new spring. For what we're celebrating today is not so much the completion of our task, but the renewal of our hope. Not so much an ending, but a fresh beginning. Let us celebrate the renewal and patriation of our Constitution. But let us put our faith first and foremost in the people of Canada, who will breathe life into it. It's in that spirit of faith and of confidence that I join with Canadians everywhere in sharing this day of national achievement. It is in their name, Your Majesty, that I now invite you, the Queen of Canada, to give solemn proclamation to our new Constitution.
The Prime Minister's speech completed, a strong speech calling on Canadians to celebrate, but also pointing out to Quebecers that he understands their dilemma at a time when their government does not agree with the package that is being proclaimed into law today. The Queen will now head towards the desk where the actual signing will take place, and Barbara, it's starting to rain very gently. One description is spitting, just a gentle rain. Let's hope it holds off. The moment the Queen puts her signature on this document, it becomes law. It will be witnessed later. The Constitution is now home. A fanfare in the background, as you can hear. Document being witnessed by the Prime Minister, the Minister of Justice, and the Attorney General Jean Chrétien. He will be followed by the Registrar General, André Ouellet.
It's ironic, isn't it, Peter, that the three names of Canadian officials that will be going on to this document are names of ministers from Quebec, the province that the Prime Minister was just speaking to in French a moment ago.
Final signature of witness to the document that has brought our Constitution home, the Constitution Act 1982, the patriation, the new amending formula, and the Charter of Rights are now, at this moment, in law. The proclamation is picked up by Michael Kirby, the Deputy Clerk of the Privy Council. Huguette Labelle, the Undersecretary of State, reads the proclamation.
The United Kingdom, Canada, and her other realms and territories, Queen, head of the Commonwealth, defender of the faith, to all to whom these presents shall come, or whom the same may in any way concern, greeting, a proclamation. Whereas, in the past, certain amendments to the Constitution of Canada have been made by the Parliament of the United Kingdom at the request and with the consent of Canada. And whereas it is in accord with the status of Canada as an independent state that Canadians be able to amend their constitution in Canada in all respects. And whereas it is desirable to provide in the Constitution of Canada for the recognition of certain fundamental rights and freedoms, and to make other amendments to the Constitution. And whereas the Parliament of the United Kingdom has therefore, at the request and with the consent of Canada, enacted the Canada Act, which provides for the patriation and amendment of the Constitution of Canada. And whereas Section 58 of the Constitution Act 1982, set out in Schedule B to the Canada Act, provides that the Constitution Act 1982 shall, subject to Section 59 thereof, come into force on a day to be fixed by proclamation issued under the Great Seal of Canada. Now know you that we, by and with the advice of our Privy Council for Canada, do by this our proclamation declare that the Constitution Act 1982 shall, subject to Section 59 thereof, come into force on the 17th day of April in the year of our Lord 1982, of all which our loving subjects and all others whom these presents may concern are hereby required to take notice and to govern themselves accordingly. In testimony whereof, we have caused these our letters to be made patent, and the Great Seal of Canada to be hereunto affixed at our city of Ottawa, the 17th day of April, on the year of our Lord, 1982.
The CPU, Canadian People's Union, being the first of its kind, is an intelligent, quiet evolution for revolutions that need to take place without chaos, bloodshed, or fear of retribution. It is also the most intelligent way for all Canadians and Indigenous nations to be in control of what happens in this country, including the control of our monetary system, all laws, and especially all corporate laws, and what the banks, including the World Bank or the UN, and what they can and cannot do in our country. Think about it. We must change the system to protect our country, our rights, and all of our futures. Which is why all countries need to instill 100% veto rule by the people, everywhere. This should be the only focus of all citizens in Canada and worldwide. We are all human beings, and there should exist no separation, no division, and have complete unity upon this planet, but not in the manner that the oligarchy has been doing through the United Nations and the World Bank smoke and mirrors. Look deep within, and you will see that we are all equals within creation. We can do much better through unity than the oligarchy who is trying to control the entire planet and all of humanity. So I leave you with this. Be the rise of a new dawn. Be a true shining light. Ignite the spark of pure creation within, and together, by standing for all of our rights the right way. E-sign your Citizens Convention of Consent today and join the CanadianPeoplesUnion.com or MyFreedom2017.com. The choice between slavery and freedom is up to you.